Right now, you are trapped in a cycle of doubt and frustration. You feel overlooked, unappreciated, and invisible in a world that seems to move on without you. The harsh truth is that many people around you are feeling the same way. But it doesn't have to be this way. We live in a time where respect seems to be in short supply. You might wonder why others overlook your value, your strength, your potential. This may seem like a crisis of circumstance, but in reality, it's often a reflection of your own mindset. In this moment, I am here to help you confront this crisis head-on. Today, we will explore the one rule that can change how others perceive you and, more importantly, how you perceive yourself. Mastering this rule can pave your way to earning the respect you deserve. I want you to pause right now and comment, "I am worthy of respect," below. Write it. Own it. Let every like on your comment remind you of this promise. The journey to respect is not just about how others see you. It's about how you stand in your own truth. Understanding this will lead us to powerful insights that will shape your path forward. Step 1. The Mirror Protocol. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. The truth is, we often look outward for validation. We expect others to recognize our worth. But here's the hard truth. Real respect starts from within. You can't expect others to honor you if you don't honor yourself. This is where the Mirror Protocol comes into play. The Mirror Protocol is about self-reflection. It's about standing in front of the mirror, literally and figuratively, and facing the person you see. This practice isn't about vanity. It's about accountability. Let me tell you a story about Marcus Aurelius. As a Roman emperor, he faced countless challenges. He was often surrounded by advisors and soldiers who sought his approval. Yet, in his private journal, Aurelius wrote for himself. He reminded himself of his values, his purpose, and his responsibilities. He faced his reflection with unflinching honesty. In one passage, he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means you must look inward for your worth. The world will often miss the mark, but you can define yourself. So what does this mean for you? The lesson here is clear. You need to recognize your own value. Stand in front of that mirror and ask yourself, what do I see? Are you seeing someone who is strong? Are you seeing someone who is trying? Or are you seeing someone who is fearful and defeated? You have the power to change that reflection. Tonight, before you sleep, take a moment. Look into your own eyes in the mirror. Reflect on your day. What did you accomplish? What did you learn? And if you felt weak or overlooked, confront that feeling. Recognize it, but do not let it define you. This is your moment to take control. But here is the part nobody talks about. It's not enough to just look in the mirror and see what you want to see. You have to act. You must align your actions with the respect you want to receive. When you respect yourself, others will start to notice. They'll begin to see the strength you bring into every situation. Now you might feel a surge of resistance. That's normal. Facing yourself can be uncomfortable, and that discomfort is crucial. It's where growth happens. If this is hitting different right now, do one thing for me. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, for the version of you that needs this reminder next week. Now pay attention. This is the real lesson. The Mirror Protocol is not just about seeing yourself. It's about affirming your worth. When you do this daily, the respect you seek will come. As we move forward, remember, this journey requires commitment. It's not a one-time glance. It's a daily practice of self-respect. Step 2. The Boundaries Shield. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. They think that self-respect is enough. They believe that simply looking in the mirror and promising themselves more is enough. It's not. The Boundaries Shield is your next step. This is where you draw the line. You must protect your energy and your worth. When you create clear boundaries, you send a message to yourself and to others. You say, I am worth respect. I deserve to be treated accordingly. Let me share a story about Marcus Aurelius. During his reign as emperor, he faced constant challenges. He was surrounded by advisors and generals who sought to manipulate him. Many wanted to use his power for their gain. But Marcus stood firm. He knew his purpose. He established boundaries that kept him aligned with his Stoic principles. He once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means that you control how you respond to the world. The lesson is clear. Boundaries are not walls that isolate you. They are shields that protect your spirit. When you set boundaries, you teach others how to treat you. You create a space for respect to flourish. But here is the part many miss. Setting boundaries will make some people uncomfortable. They might push back. This is where your resolve is tested. You must stand firm. What does this look like in practice? Tonight, before you sleep, write down 3 boundaries you need to establish. It could be about your time, your energy, or your emotions. Here's an example. If you find yourself overwhelmed by negative conversations, set a boundary. Decide to limit contact with that person or redirect the conversation. Protecting your mental space is vital. Now pay attention. This is the real lesson. Boundaries require strength. They demand clarity. But when you implement them, you will notice a shift. You will feel empowered. Most people stop here. Do not be most people. Create an action plan. Make it concrete. Decide how you will communicate these boundaries. Will you be direct? Will you choose a moment of calm to express your needs? You are not a doormat. You are a fortress. Your boundary shield is your defense against disrespect and negativity. When you respect yourself enough to set these boundaries, others will begin to notice. You will earn that respect. But knowing this alone is not enough. There is something even more dangerous lurking. As we advance, prepare for the next step. Step 3, the confidence weapon. Stop. Think about that. You have boundaries. You've set them. But there's a weapon you need to wield next. That weapon is confidence. Confidence is not just a feeling. It is a choice. It is an action. It is what fortifies your boundaries and gives them strength. Confidence is the armor that shields you from the noise of insecurity. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. What does that mean? It means that your confidence comes from within. You must remind yourself of your worth. The world will throw challenges at you. You will face doubt, but your confidence must be steadfast. Here's a story to illustrate this. Think of a young soldier preparing for battle. In the ancient world, warriors like the Spartans trained ruthlessly. They faced fear head-on. Before each battle, they repeated mantras. They knew that confidence was built through preparation and discipline. When they stepped onto the battlefield, they didn't just wear armor. They carried the weight of their training. They had confidence that they could prevail. Now, how do you build this confidence? How do you create a shield that protects your spirit? You take action. You start by recognizing your strengths. Make a list. Identify what you excel at. It could be your ability to listen, your problem-solving skills, or your creativity. This next part changed everything for me. You must put yourself in situations that challenge you. Step outside your comfort zone. Speak up in a meeting. Share your ideas. The more you expose yourself to discomfort, the stronger your confidence grows. And remember, confidence is contagious. When you stand tall, others will notice. They will respect your boundaries because you respect yourself. Tonight, before you sleep, write down 3 actions you will take to boost your confidence. It could be practicing a presentation, reaching out to someone you admire, or simply looking in the mirror and affirming your worth. But here is the part nobody talks about. Confidence can waver. It can be shaken. That's why you need to establish a routine to reinforce it. Daily affirmations, gratitude journaling. Reflect on your achievements, big and small. You are not just preparing for battle. You are building an unshakable fortress within. Now that you understand this, let me show you the weapon that makes it stick. Step 4, the assertiveness trap. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. They confuse assertiveness with aggression. They think being strong means overpowering others. This is the assertiveness trap. It's a mistake that many fall into. You can be strong without being loud. You can be assertive without being aggressive. Think of Marcus Aurelius. who led an empire but also practiced humility. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What does this mean in simple terms? It reminds us that true strength comes from within. It is not about dominating others. It is about owning your truth and expressing it calmly and clearly. Let's look at a modern example. Picture a team meeting. Everyone is throwing out ideas, but one person dominates the discussion. They raise their voice. They speak over others. This person may seem strong, but they lack respect. Now, envision the opposite. A person in the room who listens. They share their thoughts with confidence. Their voice is steady, and their words are thoughtful. They assert themselves without stepping on anyone else's ideas. Who do you think earns more respect? The lesson here is vital. Assertiveness is about clarity, not volume. It's about standing firm in your beliefs while remaining open to others. Here's what you can do. Practice assertive communication. Start small. In your next conversation, express your opinion clearly without raising your voice. Use I statements. For example, say, "I feel," rather than "you should." This shifts the focus from blame to your experience. And remember, when you engage confidently without aggression, you create a space for respect and understanding. If this is hitting different right now, do one thing for me. Hit that subscribe button. Not for me, for the version of you that needs this reminder next week. Now, let's dig deeper. Many fear that being assertive will push others away. But in reality, it does the opposite. It draws people closer. You want to be heard? Be the calm in the storm. Be the strength that listens and responds. Consider this. Seneca said, "The bravest sight in the world is to see a great man in distress." What does that tell us? It tells us that strength is not the absence of struggle. It is the ability to face it with dignity. So today, challenge yourself. Take a moment and think about how you communicate. Are you assertive, or are you falling into the trap of aggression? When you leave this session, practice being assertive in your everyday life. Share your ideas. Defend your boundaries. But do it with respect. Stand tall. Speak clearly. And remember, your strength lies not in overpowering others, but in owning your space with confidence and grace. But knowing this alone is not enough, because there is something even more dangerous. Step 5. The Authenticity Code. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. The truth is, many people wear masks. They hide behind facades. They fear the vulnerability of authenticity. This creates a divide between you and the respect you deserve. When you are not genuine, you lose trust. You lose connection. But when you embody authenticity, you forge real relationships. You invite respect into your life. Step 5 is all about unlocking the authenticity code. What does that mean? It means you need to show up as your true self. No more pretenses. This is the foundation for respect. Consider the story of Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher. Epictetus once faced severe hardship as a slave. Instead of succumbing to despair, he chose to embrace his situation with honesty. He taught that our power lies not in external circumstances, but in our response to them. He famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This teaches us that authenticity comes from within. It is about owning your thoughts and feelings, no matter the situation. When you stand firm in your truth, you invite others to do the same. You create an environment where respect can thrive. So what is the action? Right now, I want you to write down 3 things that define your true self. What are your values? What makes you unique? Tonight, take time to reflect on these qualities. Embrace them. Let them guide your interactions. Be aware of the masks you may wear. They might feel safe, but they also isolate you. But here is the part nobody talks about. The fear of rejection can be paralyzing. The fear that others won't accept your true self can lead you to hide. Here's the reality. Not everyone will respect you. But respect from the right people is worth more than the false acceptance of others. Authenticity is not about pleasing everyone. It's about being true to yourself. even if it makes others uncomfortable. So take a stand. Own your truth. Speak it loudly. But knowing this alone is not enough, because there is something even more dangerous. Step 6. The active listening power. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. They forget that respect is a two-way street. You cannot demand respect if you are not willing to give it. Active listening is the bridge that connects authenticity to respect. It is not enough to stand firm in your truth. You must also hear the truths of others. Let me tell you a story. In ancient Rome, Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, faced numerous challenges as he ruled an expansive empire. He was often surrounded by advisors and generals who sought his attention. In the chaos of war and politics, he mastered the art of active listening. He made it a point to hear others. He would lean in during discussions, asking questions and truly absorbing their words. Marcus understood that listening was not just about hearing. It was about understanding. He once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that the challenges we face in communication, like misunderstanding or disinterest, can actually lead us to deeper connection when we choose to listen actively. When you listen with intention, you show respect. You validate the experiences of others, building a strong foundation of trust. How do you practice active listening? Start by focusing entirely on the speaker. Put away distractions. Do not let your mind drift to your response. Instead, absorb their words like a sponge. After they speak, reflect back what you heard. You might say, "What I hear you saying is." This confirms that you value their perspective. Next, ask open-ended questions. Can you tell me more about that? This not only encourages deeper conversation, but shows that you are invested in understanding their view. Most people stop here. Do not be most people. Active listening is about more than just the words. Pay attention to body language and tone. These details hold key information about what someone truly feels. Now, let's put this into action. This week, identify one person you struggle to communicate with. Approach them with a mindset of active listening. Set aside your judgments and assumptions. Engage in a conversation where you focus solely on hearing them. Afterward, take note of how it feels to listen without the weight of your own thoughts clouding your mind. This will not only enhance your relationships, but also boost your self-respect. Because when you listen actively, you are honoring not just the other person, but yourself as well. Now that you understand this, let me show you the weapon that makes it stick. Step 7. The follow-through commitment. Now here is where most people completely fall apart. They hear about active listening, but then they fail to act. They lack follow-through. It's not enough to understand the concept. You must commit to it. The follow-through commitment is the backbone of respect. It's the promise you make to yourself and others. When you say you are going to do something, do it. There's a powerful story from the life of Marcus Aurelius. During his reign, he faced constant threats from invading armies. Yet, he still took time to listen to his generals and soldiers. He didn't just hear their advice. He acted on it. By following through on what he learned, he earned their trust and respect. His ability to act on advice made him a respected leader. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. This quote from Marcus reminds us that action matters more than words. It's straightforward. Instead of talking about being respectful, you must act with respect. The follow-through commitment is about consistency. It's about doing what you say you will do. When you follow through on your commitments, you build a reputation of reliability. Remember, every time you let your promises slip, you chip away at your self-respect. So, what does this look like in practical terms? Start with a simple exercise. Each morning, write down one commitment you will follow through on that day. It could be listening to a colleague, completing a task, or reaching out to a friend. At the end of the day, review your list. Did you keep your promise to yourself? If you did, celebrate that win. If not, reflect on why you fell short. Identify the barriers and plan for tomorrow. This simple practice builds accountability. With time, it strengthens your commitment to both yourself and others. But here is the part nobody talks about. The follow-through commitment isn't just about the small things. It's about the bigger picture too. It's about being the person others can rely on. So, as you move forward, remember that every commitment is a step toward mastering respect. Show up, follow through, become the person you need to be. Now, let me show you the weapon that makes it stick. The final word. Rise above, claim your respect. You stand at a crossroads. Every day, you have a choice, to rise above or to sink back into mediocrity. Right now, you may feel unrespected. You may feel invisible, but that can change. To claim your respect, you must take action. Respect yourself if you wish to be respected, said the great Seneca. This is the truth that transforms lives. If you want others to see your value, you must first see it in yourself. There is no shortcut here. You must embody the respect you seek. This is not just about doing things that earn a nod or a smile. It's about forging an identity built on integrity, grit, and responsibility. Think of Marcus Aurelius. He was an emperor, yes, but more than that, he was a thinker and a doer. He didn't just wield power. He put in the effort to understand his people and his responsibilities. Now, what does this look like for you? Start by setting clear boundaries. Know your worth. This means not allowing anyone to disrespect you, while also treating others with that same level of respect. It's a two-way street. You teach people how to treat you through your actions. Reflect on your daily interactions. Are you engaging with others in a way that commands respect? When someone speaks to you, do you listen actively? When you promise something, do you deliver? But this goes deeper. Respect is built in moments of adversity. It's during your struggles that you show your true character. Picture a soldier on the battlefield. When the moment is chaotic, when fear grips the heart, that soldier's reaction reveals everything. Do they freeze? Do they run? Or do they rise to the occasion? You must be that soldier in your daily life. When faced with challenges at work, do you succumb to stress, or do you tackle them head-on? When someone criticizes you, do you lash out, or do you respond with grace? This is the difference between being respected and being ignored. Now is the time for action. Each morning, begin with a focus on respect. Identify one act that embodies respect for yourself and for others. It could be standing firm against unfair treatment or helping someone without expecting anything in return. At the end of that day, ask yourself if you showed up. Did you act with respect? Did you demand it from the world? If you did, celebrate it. If you didn't, reflect on it. Because every moment is a chance to rise above. Remember, respect is not given. It is earned through your actions. Stand firm in your commitments. Do not let fear dictate your choices. You have the power to shape how others see you. Rise above the noise. Claim your respect. Subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And I will see you in the next one.